What's up everybody, with the new hero Baptiste going live soon, if he hasn't already by the time you're watching this, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I think Baptiste is an incredibly good hero when it comes to satisfying what the game needs. He might not be 100% perfectly balanced, and I'm sure not every player is going to enjoy playing him, but he sets a precedent for future Overwatch heroes, which I think is overall going to work to improve the game. This is Master EN Gamer, and let's get into it. Now, it's pretty common knowledge for basically anyone who's played this game for any length of time that it has a bit of a balance issue when it comes to the diversity of DPS characters versus supports and tanks. There's not a whole lot of options to choose from in these latter two categories, and a lot of people attribute that to why there are so many DPS players versus tanks and support mains. And while this is true to an extent, as having more options in these two categories introduces more diversity and makes it more likely that any given player is going to find a tank or support that they do enjoy playing, but we also need to take into account the very nature of these different categories and the playstyles which typically correspond to them. Even if we had an equal number of DPS, tanks, and supports, it's still very likely that we would have an overwhelming majority of players going DPS, and there's a good reason for that. People who play FPS video games like Overwatch are just more inclined to enjoy firing a gun that hurts people. I don't want to delve too much into the psychology of why people enjoy shooting guns in games, but it's pretty clear that a lot of people just enjoy dealing damage over holding up a barrier or healing their teammates. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as everybody has their own preferences, but what do you do when such a large portion of the Overwatch player base is primarily interested in one role, which leads to imbalanced team comps because not enough people are interested in filling the other roles which are necessities. There are certainly some extreme measures which could be taken, such as role queue, which essentially forces players to fit into certain predetermined categories, but there are a whole host of issues which come about with a system like this. It fundamentally limits the number of hero compositions you can run in any given match, and could overall really just kind of dumb down the game when it comes to limiting what you can actually do in it. However, a different way you can go about trying to solve this hero role imbalance is by making heroes in the tank and support categories who are appealing to people who enjoy playing DPS. We already have this in the form of Ana, and I don't think it's any coincidence that Ana happens to be such an incredibly popular hero pick, especially at much higher skill tiers where players are much more mechanically skilled and are oftentimes more interested in the first-person shooter aspect of a game like this. So Blizzard clearly picked up on this and made the really smart decision of adding another DPS-esque support hero. Rather than looking at something like role queue, which would force players to fit certain roles, they focused on giving the player base options that work with what everybody wants as opposed to against it. If you really like the shooty gun mechanics of a first-person shooter, but your team desperately needs a healer, now you have Baptiste as an option which satisfies your own interest to point and shoot a gun, as well as your team's interest in having a character that can actually heal them. While Ana has already been satisfying this niche for years at this point, introducing another hero like that just gives players more options. This is where it comes back to the idea that more hero diversity is objectively better. It makes it more likely that any given player is going to find a hero they enjoy. For example, maybe somebody really likes the shooty aspect of FPSs and they want to help their team as a healer, but for whatever reason they just don't enjoy playing Ana. Well, now they have the option to play Baptiste if that's a hero they might be more inclined to enjoy playing. At this point, I'm really excited to see how Baptiste ends up impacting the overall game. Not in terms of the meta or what we're going to see pros play in the Overwatch League, but just your typical quick playing competitive matches. I honestly think he's going to have an incredibly positive impact on getting more people to fill the support role when needed, and overall just let more people enjoy the game. Sure, this could be said for any new hero addition, as any kind of new content is going to make the game more enticing as it just gives the players more to do, but I feel that a hero like Baptiste is going to be even more effective in this regard, as Blizzard really honed in on what the game needed to improve and designed him to satisfy this. While I by no means think that Baptiste is going to to single-handedly, quote-unquote, fix the game and the whole issue of people not playing support heroes, I think he's going to be a massive step in the right direction, and I really do expect we're going to start seeing more moves like this from Blizzard with future hero editions that work towards fixing it in this kind of manner. There's nothing wrong with them adding in more supports or tanks that satisfy only support or tank players, but I'm really excited to see what they can come up with in the future when it comes to getting more DPS players to be enticed into filling some of the other roles. For example, there's a very good chance that Hero 31 is going to be a tank, and I'm really curious to see if Blizzard does something similar in that while the hero undeniably will fill the role of a tank, it might be designed in such a way that DPS players will be heavily inclined to play them. At this point in time, it really is just too early to say for sure what we can expect for this next upcoming hero, but with us having just gotten Baptiste, I'm feeling much more optimistic than usual when it comes to the future of Overwatch's hero editions. I think Blizzard has really hit on something great here by adding this kind of hero, and I'm really excited to see if they continue doing it moving forward. People get so caught up on the idea of sweeping systems like role queue as a way to fix the game, when in reality, maybe adding certain heroes like Baptiste is the better way to go about it. Even if you do get a ton of DPS nuts picking Baptiste and only using him to shoot the enemy, I'd rather have those people playing heroes who can heal me than everyone just insta-locking DPS and us having no healing options. Anyways, these have just been my thoughts about why I think Baptiste is going to be an amazing addition to the Overwatch hero roster, but I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you feel the same way about them adding a DPS-esque support hero? And what sort of other hero designs do you think could possibly be introduced in the future that end up satisfying this same sort of niche? Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit up the bell to never miss any of my future Overwatch content. This is Master EN Gamer signing off, and until next time, hope you all enjoy the new hero Baptiste, and have a great day.